Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Trading Bitcoin with me, your host, Tone Vase. Doing this live from Washington, D.C. I got here late this afternoon, flew out of LA yesterday morning. That was a really good meetup last night. I got to do more of those. It was like an Andreas Antonopoulos style Q&A after I did my usual market analysis. Yeah, so that was actually a lot of fun and lots of good comments to the YouTube video. A lot of people were confused thinking that was my trading seminar. It wasn't. That was the trading seminar was like 2 days earlier. That was just a meetup. So yeah, so I'm looking to do more of those as I continue to travel the world. So DC this week. Tomorrow I will be speaking at the University of Maryland. I believe it's open to the public. So we'll see. Hopefully there isn't too many people. But yeah, so I'll show a website in a second. I should probably put the website into my YouTube channel. But that's pretty much it. That's kind of like my only announcement. And the trading seminar this Saturday, there's actually still some room in the DC trading seminar. This might be the first one I don't actually sell out, which is going to be interesting because New York is getting sold out. Like New York is way more popular. Anyway, all right, let's do screen share and we'll take it from there. All right, guys, my typical starting disclaimer. Please learn trading. It's not even a disclaimer, like more like a advice. Please learn. I know my website is all messed up. I have not had time. I have no idea what happened. I haven't touched anything. All the links are still there, but they're like not like the color disappeared. So I need to, go into WordPress and find out what the hell happened to all of my formatting on my website. But in any case, it's still there somewhere in the menu. Just find Learn Trading, and if you're an expert at sections 1 to 5, you can then start to understand section 6, which is the kind of trading I tend to focus on these days. For additional info on purchasing access to some of the indicators or other types of consulting, there's a consulting section that explains as much as I can explain in one page. And of course, my trading seminars. The one in DC is this Saturday. I'll be speaking at the University of Maryland tomorrow, and then I'm gonna try and see if I can do some kind of a meetup, a similar meetup to what I did in LA Sunday or Monday, and then probably head to New York on Tuesday because I have a seminar in New York the following Saturday. So pretty busy schedule. So speaking of the University of Maryland, here's the page. Uh, Tone Vase TUMD. Oh, Tone Vase at UMD. There it is. Thanks, Gus, for putting this together. So this is the University of Maryland seminar. I believe it's open to the public. I think it is. I hope they have a really big room for me. But yeah, here's the site for that. So if you're around the University of Maryland on Valentine's Day, this is how I'm spending my Valentine's Day. So there you go. And I'll throw this in the video description of my video right after I'm done with this video. Okay. Um, it was so funny. So I sent out a tweet. So I got to Washington D.C. I'm actually staying at a firehouse. Really cool. But there's like an apartment on top of the firehouse. Not an active firehouse. So I am gonna get some sleep tonight. But yeah, pretty cool. All right, so I was at a little like restaurant bar getting some food, and I was just sitting there at the bar, and like two girls were walking past me right behind me as I was sitting, and this is the conversation that I heard. So I mean, I didn't say anything, but I thought it was kind of funny that one of them said she doesn't consider cash real money because if she drops it on the floor, I'm sure what she was going to say was someone else can steal it and I don't have it anymore, right? So, which is funny because to me, that's exactly what cash is. That's the beautiful property of cash that whoever actually is holding it owns it. So it's funny how people perceive what money is. So I thought this was a really good example. Um, Hey Kevin, yeah, I got to get to Chicago. I know, but I think Atlanta or Miami are slightly higher up the list. But yeah, Chicago and the Northwest are also up there. All right, let's get to the markets. Oh, I forgot about this. Man, I was looking for this. Uh, like I was looking. Somebody put together an even more complete version of this, right? Basically, someone put together like the work history of the top Bitcoin Core developers and what they achieved prior to Bitcoin. And the list is amazing. And this is what I mean when I say when you have this is what I refer to all the time, that every other alternative to Bitcoin is a scam coin, because I don't know who is programming behind the scenes. And if anyone is actually programming behind the scenes, this is what I try to get through the thick skulls of people. Okay. Like, I know who my developers are. And this is why I believe Bitcoin has a chance to survive into the future. Okay. Like, none of these other alternatives have anything. I mean, Monero has Fluffy Pony. That I mean, maybe they have one or two competent developers in addition to Fluffy. Maybe. Okay. I mean, I don't even know what Charlie Lee did before Litecoin. He's not really a Litecoin developer, right? I mean, he's just the creator of Litecoin. Um, and that's it. Like who are the competent Litecoin developers that are not also programming on Bitcoin and just using Litecoin as a test net? So what about any? This is why every alternative is pretty much a scam. It's incompetent developers trying to get rich off of you. So keep that in mind, okay? Hey, thanks Tor for tweeting this out. Tweeted it out like 6 months ago, but I think I just like gave you a nice big boost of the likes and retweets by retweeting it like yesterday. All right, let's get to the price. All right, so here's the weekly chart. Weekly chart's looking good. Now, the time indicator is still bearish. However, we do have a very clean reversal candle. Now, in order for this reversal candle to be realized, you see this box that I drew a little while ago? We have to break the top of this candle, and we have not done it yet. Now, it looks like it's going to break to the upside. Now, if you as a trader want to take on a preemptive trade, I mean, that's fine. That's on you. But according to the rules, you want to wait until the price this week breaks above the high of this candle. Now, I happen to be looking at Bitstamp, and the high of this candle is $9,090. So you're basically looking at $9,100 for a clean break, okay? I mean, adjust for your exchange accordingly, all right? Now, just because we break 9,000 and go to 10,000 does not mean we can no longer get a red 9 on a weekly candle, okay? In order for us to get a red 9 on a weekly candle, candles 8 and 9 have to close in the vicinity of $8,000, which is still reasonable, right? I still believe that 10,000 is going to be formidable resistance. So if we shoot up to 10,000, the perfect situation would be a rejection at 10,000, sending us back to the $8,000 area to then reverse, go back to 10 and break above 10. That could also set us up for a 9 weekly buy, which would be absolutely beautiful. If we can get a 9 weekly buy in the vicinity of $7,000 to $8,000, that would be the perfect trade to the upside. It would also give a chance for the 50-week moving average to catch up and kind of get close to the price action. Okay. Here's the weekly chart. Oh, sorry, that was the weekly chart. Here's the daily chart. So the daily chart still remains very good. Now, the upwards move to a 9 has been broken, but it was broken, you know, one, two, three, and four. It was broken in this weak way, right? Like if we get a green one and then a green two and then a green three, and especially if we bust out all the way to 10,000, which is where the bottom of this triangle is, it could set us up for what would could potentially be a 9, at least in my head. So I'm going to keep a very close eye on this one-off red price flip. If we break out above 9,000 here, okay, now this green line is still your trigger for a buying opportunity, right? Now you can also say there's a good buying opportunity above the tops of these two candles from yesterday's top and the top the day before. So things are looking good. We continue to make higher lows, and we didn't make a higher high, but we made um, you know, a double top within a margin of error on the 4 hour chart. Okay. And the 4 hour chart is really interesting. So we're going to spend a bunch of time on that. But as far as the daily chart is concerned, this is a good looking bottom with big price action. Okay. Hope you guys watched yesterday when I talked about volume. The volume has been pretty weak, which is not a big deal because if we break out above 9,000, a huge buying opportunity could set in, driving us to 10,000 very quickly. Okay. And this is what I mean. You want to trade um, probabilistical trades in your favor. Like there's nothing you can do between current prices and let's say 8,000. I mean, you cannot use the daily chart to trade between 8 and 10,000. I'm sorry, 8 and 9,000. Okay, you have to use lower level time frames because this is in the middle of nowhere. Okay, whenever you have price flips, it means there's no trade on the table. All right, so the daily chart is looking fairly well. All the action has taken place on the 4 hour chart. Now you can see how perfect the rejection was on a 4 hour chart off of this perfected 9 sell. I talked about this pretty much in real time yesterday during the LA live stream. Okay. This was just happening then. Okay. It was about 24 hours ago. And I think the next candle was just forming. If I had started that meetup 4 hours earlier, I would have warned everyone of this 9. Now I no longer have to warn my clients of this 9, right? And I have a fair set of clients at this point that have attended my seminars and or purchased access to this indicator or written their own or are using the free version of it from that other people have written. I have a good story about that. I got to get one of my friends on a podcast who was trading this indicator but had no idea I was doing any of these podcasts. And because like again, right, not everybody watches me. And so he saw my version of it and he liked it. So anyway, I got to get him on a podcast, and like you can get his perspective on this indicator that he's been trading long before, never even watched my videos, and we'll see what he has to say. I'm hoping it would be a similar interview to Ven Zen. I'm gonna try and bring you interviews with other traders that I respect. There's not many of them, but the few that I respect, I think it will be a good perspective for future podcasts. All right, let's talk about this inverse head and shoulders because I hate head and shoulders. I'm deleting this thing. I just don't like head and shoulders. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I like head and shoulders because I don't need it. Here's why I don't need it. I don't need head and shoulders because I'm a fan of the cup and handle. So instead of the head and shoulders, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a cup and handle. So, and I'm gonna make it green. So to me, that's a nice cup. There you go. And that's a handle. Pretty damn clean. Okay. And then we hit a 9, which was beautiful. And guess what? We're now forming yet an additional smaller candle. Oh, sorry, handle. So these seem to be a little bit bright. Let me do a couple of things here. So I'm going to double click on this. I'm going to make this background lighter. I'm also going to make this background lighter. And this background lighter. And then I'm going to send this to the back. Wait, not like that. Okay, how do I do that? Visual order, send back, send to back. Visual order, send to back, and visual order, send to back. Okay, there it is. Okay, so to me, this is a nice cup and handle. And I'm trying to decide if I want to say the word if or do I want to say the word when. It's starting to feel like when. So when this breaks out, okay, where is your expected target? So when this breaks out, because I'm pretty damn confident that this thing is gonna break out. That's about $3,000. Be a little conservative here. 3,000. I like even numbers sometimes. I never trade with even numbers, but I like even numbers. 50%. Wow. 50% move there. I should make that green. So that means copy, paste. When this thing breaks out, you are looking at a $3,000 move, ladies and gentlemen, right? Now, I believe there is lots of resistance in the way. And it should break out as of, like, I mean, if we make it to 950, it's pretty much a breakout. But if we make it to 950, it's too close to 9,100, right? So, well, anyway, I'll leave it in this vicinity, right? So now the beautiful thing off of this 9 is a 1 to 4 candle correction and then back in the direction of the trend. And there it is, 1, 2, and 3. And if you count the 9 candle itself, that's also, a 4 candle correction. With the 2 candle being a beautiful hammer off of something that you expect shouldn't go beyond the 50-day moving average to the downside. And you can see my red arrow. Oh wow, I almost didn't even see my red arrow because I must have drawn this red arrow last night as I was doing the live stream off of this candle. So this arrow worked out absolutely perfectly. And now we're going back to the upside. So the bullish trade, because remember, you had an expectation of what to do off of this 9, because remember, the daily at the time was bullish. The weekly is kind of neutral, a potential bullish above that. So your 4 hour was most likely to go down for only, 3 to 4 candles and then back up. So there was a bullish trade off the hammer. If you wanted to wait until the time indicator gave you, a safer trade, you're waiting for the two to start trading above the one. Where's your stop loss? Always get the stop loss questions, okay? Your stop loss and your initial stop loss is right below the swing low. Now, the moment we break out to 9,000, I would be setting the stop loss, in this vicinity. I would make this a break-even trade. You can even right now probably raise your stop loss to just below this the candle 3 candles ago, right? You can so your I should probably do this for the live stream people, for the audio people. So for the audio people, there was a bullish trade on the table at approximately 8,660 bucks. When was that? Yesterday, no, today at 7 a.m. Eastern time. An additional trade has just taken place um, on the current candle, which has just started actually. So about 15 minutes ago, there was another bullish trade. The moment we started trading above the prior candle's high, and that trade took place at approximately $8,740. Okay, so the high of that candle was 8,734. So at 8,740, you had a bullish trade. Okay. Now, the moment this thing breaks out above 9,050, FOMO should be setting in. And this thing should accelerate to the upside quickly. Again, statistically speaking. Now, the longer it takes the more time it spends around 9,000, the bigger the breakout and the faster the breakout will be. Okay, so if you're not already in this bullish trade, see if you can time the 9,000 breakout. Okay, and this is the stop loss line. All right, now I got a few texts from, again, people that are very familiar with this indicator and how to trade it. I'm not going to dox people, but I know at least one of my clients was very happy. The first trade he made using this indicator after watching for a while, and it sounded like he made the perfect trade somewhere in this vicinity. So I don't know if he took the trade here off of this 9, but somewhere off of this 1 hour 9. And he either timed it off of this reversal candle or potentially waited until the 2 started trading above the 1. Either way, here's what he was thinking. He was exactly right. The 1 hour came off a perfect reversal here of a reversal candle on a 13 red arrow. Plus, this was a 9 if you were actually watching this thing in real time. It immediately drove it to a 9. So the moment this 9 happens, you're already eyeing the bullish trade. You are rewarded with the reversal candle, and guess what else you're being rewarded with? This takes place 2:13 at 5 a.m. Okay, the 4 hour candle right here is 2:13 3 a.m., but the candle is 4 hours long, right? So in the middle of this candle, you're starting to form a 4 hour reversal candle. Now, you are already expecting a 1 to 4 candle reversal and down because you're trading off of this 9 if you did not short or you're just waiting to time the bottom. So this combination of, well, my daily is pretty bullish, my 4 hour is on a short-term pullback, and look, my 1 hour is helping me time it all. So you're able to line up all of the time frames right here at 5 to 7 in the morning. You're able to line up all of the popular time frames and act on the bullish trade. And of course, your stop loss is going to be below the swing low, and now you're off to the upside, and look where you are, right? Again, on the current swing, you have a bullish entry off of the time indicator when the 2 starts trading above the 1. And again, your initial stop loss is below the swing low. Educational channel, guys. I mean, I was on a plane when this was all happening, so that's why I'm not trading. And at this point, with this monster 4 candle, I mean, I would be setting the stop loss below the 50-hour moving average with every intention to move it to a break-even stop as soon as possible, right? You want to take on these very safe trades that immediately put you in the money, and you can immediately put a break-even stop loss so that if it keeps going, you're all set. And if you're wrong, you don't actually lose anything. Preservation of capital is very important. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. How did the S&P 500 do? Well, the S&P 500, even though it was opening, 10 points down, again, I was on an airplane the whole stock market day. Thank God I didn't have any positions. And this looks good. We're bouncing off the 9, right? So again, the 9 has a tendency to give you a 1 to 4 candle correction and then back to the downside. So if you jumped on this bullish trade off of the stock market, you are eyeing this current tomorrow very carefully. You have the 50-day moving average potentially rejecting you. And let's see if this can be a sustained uptrend back to new all-time highs, or is it going to reverse sometime this week? Okay, so is this a 1 to 4 candle dead cat bounce to new lows, or is it a true reversal in the market? The answer is no one knows, but you are watching tomorrow and Thursday very carefully. Okay, I have no idea what news there's going to be, but it's irrelevant because you're a technical trader. So tomorrow is going to be key. Tomorrow is going to be very key, okay, for the S&P 500. I heard something about Litecoin today. Let's go take a look. Litecoin seems to be trending today. I have no idea why. All right, Litecoin weekly, Litecoin daily, and then Litecoin USD. After this, I'll do some Q&A. Wow, I'm already 30 minutes in. Shit. What am I looking at here? Let's go to Litecoin weekly. So Litecoin weekly is looking pretty good. Litecoin weekly is looking pretty good. You're on a 4. You're on a 4 of 9 weekly. I'm not sure what this red line is doing there. I guess check my last video as to what it's doing there. But according to the time indicator on a weekly chart, the bullish position could have been taken once the candle with a green 2 started trading above a green 1. You are now on a green 4, and you're coming up on this horizontal resistance. So Litecoin against Bitcoin is currently looking, pretty damn strong, tell you the truth. And you're on a 4. Your RSI is not overbought. Your MACD is trending nicely to the upside. So everything is looking like it's a go on Litecoin, especially if you're already in Litecoin. And this is, of course, against Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the daily. So the daily, I was looking for a pullback into the 50-day moving average. It didn't really happen. you broke out, but unfortunately you broke out on a 1 candle. So there was never a real trade on the table. And now if tomorrow starts trading above the 1, I would feel that it's kind of overextended, right? Like kind of like this. You see how the 2 started trading above the 1? This was February 4th started trading about February 3rd, but the February 3rd candle was overextended. So taking on this bullish trade, I mean, it would turn out to be profitable, but it didn't really move all that much, right? Like it wasn't that big of a gain. So it's a bit unfortunate that this indicator isn't doing a great job timing you very well. Like this would have been a better timing mechanism back in uh, back in early January, where you know I guess you could have taken it on here at the 2. It was kind of flat, but at least you would have been in this trade when the bust out came on the 7 candle, and then you went even higher on the 8 candle. Now, of course, if you held out for the 9, which was a 9 when the candle started, it was probably a break-even trade for you. But at least you caught this big move here on the 1 and here on the 1. I would not have caught them. But this is me looking at a lens through Bitcoin. If you are looking at a lens through the US dollar, um, I mean, again, it broke out on a 1, but you could have been in this trade since 150 bucks because that's when the 2 started trading above the 1. Even though this was a price flip, nothing scary here. And you're waiting for a deferred 13, and you have resistance at the 50-day moving average versus the USD side of things, and horizontal resistance at 200. So 200 is going to be a bit of a problem for Litecoin when it gets there. So let's take a look at a lower level time frame, see if there was anything there. So the 4-hour versus the price of Bitcoin, you could have timed Litecoin well if you used the 4-hour chart, and you would have caught the entirety of the move, and you're technically still long. If you looked at the 1-hour chart, oh, haha, beautiful. If you looked at the 1-hour chart, it perfectly told you when to get the hell out of Litecoin and when the move ended. That's a beautiful 9 right here. Beautiful 9 right here off the 1-hour chart. And again, because your 4-hour is still bullish and your daily is only on a 1, a somewhat likely outcome for Litecoin off of this 9 is a 1 to 4-hour correction and then back to the upside. Right? So just keep that in mind. That's what the 9 tends to do. Wow, another 9 right here on the 1-hour chart. 9s have been pretty useful, guys. Probably would have been a nice timed right here. Nice sell. Took you down pretty well. Definitely money to be made there. And then you wait for the next 9. Oops. What did I do here? I have no idea what I just did. Okay. Okay. Right. So even this 9 on February 11th on the 1-hour chart would have given you a nice trade signal. These 13s, well, this one was good. This one was great at the time, but then probably a break-even trade. Another really good 9. Whoa, and another. Whoa. This is why I like this indicator, guys. Holy shit. Beautiful reversal candle. Right off of a 9, 13, 9. Like, oh man. It's like, just take a screenshot of this, add it to my educational section. And it led you, right into another 9 that rolled right over. Like, this is why you wait and be patient. I mean, you wait for this opportunity, and then and you do great. All right, so let's get to your Q&A. Okay, so I already see a question from Adam. Adam, so you asked me, what were your average annual returns as a trader? So my average annual return on trading Bitcoin is obviously 0. I don't trade Bitcoin, so I have no average annual return on Bitcoin. When I was trading Bitcoin for a little while, it was fairly positive, but then my trading started to take a hit because I was, a public figure. Like I couldn't concentrate on trading. So last year, my return on my retirement account was over 100%. But I got lucky with the trade, so that's not really fair. Uh, like I got lucky with the trade. I'll admit it. I got lucky, and I shouldn't have had. I had over 100% return last year. I had like 150% return last year. It should have been like 60, 70% if I didn't, if, realistically speaking, right? And this year I made one trade, and I believe my portfolio was up about 15% on the year. And I'm an idiot because I didn't put my entire portfolio on that trade, which is what I was supposed to do. I trade very differently than most people. And the reason I didn't put my I mean, the reason why that trade was smaller than it should have been was because I just didn't have again, I got busy, and it was such a pain in the ass to scale into that trade that I couldn't, and I was in Asia, and it was overnight, and I just got tired, and I just, and it was on a Friday, and on Monday, my trade was already so profitable that I couldn't enter it again. I had to start exiting. So I waited for my perfect trade. I got my perfect trade. It should have been a 20% swing in my portfolio, but it was only a 15% swing in my portfolio. So my realistic goal for my retirement account this year is about 50%. That's in traditional trading. That's my realistic goal. Like I said, last year I crushed my realistic goal by accident. I got lucky. I could have got unlucky in the opposite direction. Could have hurt a lot. All right. Questions. Let's do it. All right. We got about 1,400 live viewers. I am in DC, guys. I am. Let's see if I can big one. I'm actually in a cool apartment above a firehouse. So yeah, the kitchen is really cool, but I'm not gonna. I'm too lazy. Maybe tomorrow in the morning when I do it in the daytime, I'll show you where I'm living and how I'm living. Cool little apartment in DC. All right, let's do your questions. How can we determine if this upward move is not a bull trap like it was at 17,000? You can't. You can't. At least I can't. I'll try and be more careful with the next bull trap, guys. I got caught in the last one. What do you want me to say? I didn't pay close enough attention. Though, if you go back to those videos, you'll see that I was worried about the bull trap. I just guess wasn't worried enough. Next, do you think Bitcoin's uncorrelation with other financial assets is likely to continue as it becomes more integrated with legacy markets? I think so, because Bitcoin remains the black market currency. So investing in Bitcoin is like investing in the gray market that most of the equities don't participate in, right? Like there aren't that many like how else do you invest in the gray market, right? I mean, you can't invest in private prisons anymore. I think that the government has stopped, in the US at least, right? I think the government has removed private prisons from being publicly traded or something like that, or they cut off the anyway. I know there was a whole thing with private prison stocks, crashing like crazy because of new government policies, right? So that's a gray market investment. Marijuana companies is a gray market investment. Casino companies is a gray market investment. But Bitcoin is starting to take a chunk out of the casino's gray market. So there, you know, tobacco companies, right? But again, marijuana is taking is taking away a lot of the tobacco stuff. So there isn't a bigger. I mean, investing in Bitcoin is a bet for the gray market, and then this is why it's going to be it'll always be a bit of an uncorrelated asset because there just isn't another way to invest in the gray and black markets other than Bitcoin, right? That's one way of looking at it. Uh, Another way of looking at it is the currency hedge, and things like that. So I think it's going to stay uncorrelated for quite a bit, even if Wall Street does get in. Next, wow, I get this question like twice a day. What are your thoughts on Richard Hart having an emotional breakdown about Bitcoin? People are asking me, Tone, what do you think of Richard Hart? So here's my general answer, guys. I don't spend my time thinking about other people who seem to have gone off the rails, right? This has happened to so many people in our space. Uh, this happened to James D'Angelo, whose videos I used to like. This happened to Rick Falkling, whose writings I used to like a lot. This obviously happened to Roger Ver, who I used to also like back when he believed in Bitcoin. This happened to so many people. Like 90% of the Bitcoiners I looked up to when I joined this space in 2013, they have gone completely off the rails. Like, I don't know why. I don't know, and I don't waste my brain cells like thinking about it. I don't have the time. I focus on people that continue to listen to reason. uh, I don't know what Richard Hart was thinking. I don't know what he did. Uh, I don't know I don't know what he actually did. Like, people are telling me he sold his Bitcoin, he bought Ethereum, he bought something else, he's doing an altcoin. Like, I don't really know. I don't really care. I mean, I really liked Richard Hart's opinions back when we did a couple of episodes of on the World Crypto Network. I interacted with him then. I've done a few videos with him. I heard his debate with Roger. I thought that went terrible, but everybody's debate with Roger goes terrible except Johnny Dilly. Johnny Dilly had the best debate against Roger. It's on my YouTube channel. Please check it out. I thought my debate with Raja went fairly well, even though I could have done significantly better. It's very difficult to debate Roger. Like, guys, I don't waste my time thinking about people that are going off the rails. I spend my time trying to convince you not to go off the rails. So maybe I failed with Richard. Maybe if he watched more of my stuff, this may not have happened to him. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't have time to. I mean, I know he has a popular YouTube channel, and you know what? Hopefully, I get his viewers. I mean, what do you want me to say? I'm not gonna. I don't have. I mean, if he reaches out to me, maybe we can do another podcast. I'll try and convince him back. I don't know. I don't have time to initiate these things. Um, talk to Richard. Convince him to schedule a podcast with me. We'll talk about it. I don't know what he did. I don't know why he did it. I don't have time to look into it. All right, let's move on. Hey, Tone. Um, Now that actual market spoofers in metals, example Goldman Sachs trading, have been arrested, uh, perp walked, and their institutions fined, will you finally admit to the manipulation? No, and I'll tell you why. Look, I don't know the real story. Again, like I said, I've been busy. I'm doing my seminars. I'm traveling, but I almost I can speculate on what happened, right? They were not accused of suppressing the price. I guarantee you they were accused of like skimming, skimming, right? And you need to make sure that they weren't accused of like cheating to the upside. Guys, I told you this. I mean, I didn't emphasize it, but if you go back to the videos when Bitcoin was rising to $20,000 into the CME launch, I talk to people how Wall Street makes money on people FOMOing and then they sell them this crap. Okay. So most of the money is made by hyping gold and selling it to you at the top. I mean, like with Bitcoin, like it was, I should have made it more, I should have made it more clear that the probability of it going down off of the CME launch is high because Wall Street would love to sell you an overhyped asset, right? So first of all, you need to go and actually read the article on what happened with the spoofers. Um, Beyond the headline, read the details, read the subpoena, read the CFTC's statements, and there was a 50-50 chance that they were actually spoofing it to the upside, trying to get you, the gold bug, to buy into gold thinking that it's going up. Okay, this does not prove that there is a suppression of the gold price. That's what I try to emphasize, right? Like the big 5-year manipulation probe that Deutsche Bank got fined with, they were fined for dropping the price of gold on purpose by less than 5 cents every day at noon. That's not what you call a long-term suppression, because over that 5-year stretch, it was determined that Deutsche Bank, on average, um, purposely lowered the price of Bitcoin by 5 cents. But over the 5-year span, the average daily increase in the price of gold was 2 cents, right? So over that 5-year stretch that they were accused of manipulating gold price, the price of gold actually went up, right? They were just accused of, because they had the ability to name the price, they named it a little bit lower to profit from the fact that they were going to call it a little bit lower. It wasn't to suppress the price of gold. It was to make money. It was to make money. Okay. So that's what I try to explain to people, right? So please take a look at the subpoena. Please take a look at the evidence, and then decide what kind of manipulation actually took place. And my money is on the fact that it was skimming. It wasn't the suppression of the gold price. That's my view on it. Next, you mentioned the potential for a multi-year bear market the other day on a stream. Can you go more into depth as to what could cause such an event? Of course, very easily, right? Look, I'm going to do screen share. And I know Andy Hoffman is going to blow a gasket right now. Sorry, Andy. This. You see how Bitcoin transactions are unreasonably cheap right now and unreasonably quick right now because no one uses it. And no one uses any shitcoin 100 times less than they use Bitcoin. Guys, it's all spam. It's all spam. When the mempool, I mean, we all hated when the mempool is here. And I hated when the mempool is here. I would rather have $100 transactions, not with spam, with legit transactions, than admitting the reality that no one uses Bitcoin. I'm sorry, no one uses Bitcoin. And if this reality continues to take place, then Bitcoin is probably overpriced. Now, here's another thing that I constantly hear. Let me stop screen share. Man. Actually, let me go back to screen share. Go to the weekly chart. Another thing that I constantly hear, and it frustrates me to no end. Everyone is convinced that it's impossible for us to go to 1,300 because the miners, I mean, no one really knows how much money it costs to mine a Bitcoin, right? I've seen speculation that it's anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000 to mine a Bitcoin. No one knows. The cost of mining a Bitcoin is the cost of mining a Bitcoin for the most cost-efficient miner. So if there is a miner out in China with free electricity and the latest equipment, it may only cost that miner $400 to mine a Bitcoin. The answer is you don't know. Okay, I don't know, and you don't know. Unless you are running one of the top 10 mining operations, you have absolutely no ability to estimate the cost of mining a coin. So saying garbage like Bitcoin can't go below $6,000 because the price of Bitcoin would go below the cost of production. I heard all of this when it came to gold. Oh my God, gold at 1900. Gold can never fall below 1600. Silver can never fall below 15 bucks because it's lower than the cost of production. No one cares what your opinion is on the cost of production unless you are actually one of the top producers of the commodity or the asset or whatever it is. So when Bitcoin was at $1,200, you have no idea how much bullshit I heard back then that the hash rate has gone up so quick. There's no way Bitcoin can fall below $500 because it would fall below the cost of production. Guess what? Bitcoin fell to 150 bucks. Okay, so your ideas of the cost of production of Bitcoin and using that as the floor for the price is complete silliness, okay? Therefore, do not use that metric, all right? Now, to me, the realization that no one uses Bitcoin, and no, it's not because it's too slow and it's not because it's too expensive, because right now, you can get into the next block with a 10-cent transaction fee. I know because I've done it. And I still only accept Bitcoin for my services, and my services are doing pretty damn well recently. So I'm hoping that I can start, create some more activity on Bitcoin, right? But no altcoin is taken over. Your altcoin is even crappier than Bitcoin. It's usually even less than Bitcoin. But the fact that Bitcoin is potentially grossly overvalued right now could set off a longer term bear market. It's just the reality of the situation. Do I want it to happen? Of course not. Like, I don't want to go back to broke. Like, I'm enjoying even this price level, right? I don't want it to go down, but you need real numbers. Maybe if we had real numbers the whole time without spammers, maybe Bitcoin wouldn't have gone up this much, right? And maybe we would be pushing $5,000 right now because we would have gone up slower and everyone would have been happy as a pig in shit. But instead, we made it all the way to $20,000, and now $8,000 seems low. When if we would have gotten up in a nice, steady fashion, we could have been lower than 8,000 right now, making all-time highs. So it's all a matter of your perspective, okay? So yes, a bear market could happen for almost no reason. It doesn't need a reason, but I mean, why are we in a 5-year gold bear market, right? I mean, here's gold. This is the weekly chart of gold. Here's the weekly chart of gold, right? Look, in 2011, the price of gold was 1,900. In 2018, the price of gold is 1,300. The bear market may have ended in 2015. So that was a what? That was a 4-year. Oh, actually, it ended in 2016, right? Like December 2015 to 2016, right? So it ended in early 2016. When did we top? We topped at the end of 2011. Okay, so 3 full years or 4 full years, 12, 13, 14, 15, 4+ year bear market in gold. Okay, how long was the bull market in gold? The bull market in gold was, let's call it here. So 2002. So from 2002 to 2011, right? So that was 9 year bull market followed by a 4 year bear market, right? Can someone explain this bear market? Wasn't the economy still collapsing? Isn't all of this money printing happening? All the QE stuff? Don't give me manipulation. I don't want to hear that garbage. All right, don't give me long-term suppression of gold. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so go and explain the bear market in gold. It happened for no reason. It happened because the price of gold got way too high. What everyone was pumping it up, the gold bugs were pumping it up, and Wall Street was more than happy to sell it to you at the top. Okay. Now notice this bear trap. I should have paid more attention, right? Like, so look at this bull trap, right? You see how we fall and you think this is the bull trap, and then you think this is the bull trap, and then we go higher, right? And now look at what happened with Bitcoin. Oh, the one chart I wanted to open actually closed. But actually the daily would look even better, right? Right? You go down, you go up, and then you go down again, then you go up higher. And that's the bull trap, man. Ah, hurts, right? Now look at gold. Same thing, right? Even made two humps. And then boom, there's your bull trap, right? Um, and got me. It looks exactly the same, right? And then gold made these things, and then you think we have some more capitulation here, and then you go up, and then boom, it kept going down. So look, right? So you had 1, 2, 3, then the bull trap, then one more, and then a complete collapse, right? Now let's go to Bitcoin. Nope, that's the 4 hour, right? You had 1, 2, bull trap back here. This wasn't going to catch me, right? I might have screwed this up a little bit. I don't think I screwed it up that much. But boom, right here, this was the gold. This is the same thing that happened in gold. It's how all the markets top. Boom, this is the Bitcoin crash from 10,000 down to 7. And then boom, we made another low. Now look what happened here. We started forming another base. 1, 2, 3, and that's how I knew gold was going to go down more, right? Now let's go back to Bitcoin. We have 1, 2, 3, and that's how I knew Bitcoin was going to go down again. Okay. Now, did we bottom here? I hope we did. But if we start making another one of these triangles, there's certainly one more leg. I mean, I never thought we should have got out of this range. I mean, I had this range for years on Bitcoin's bull market. This range was beautiful to trade. Once we got out of this range, shit got out of hand. Like if we go back into this range, we're still okay. We're still, technically in a long-term bull. Just it got out of hand a little bit. All right, it got out of hand. All right, I think I explained that enough. All right, let's go back to camera. All right, next. Man, I'm an hour in. I'm still going though. It's midnight here on the East Coast, but I'm still on West Coast time, so I'm good. Um, do we need to be worried about bonds selling off with stocks? No, I don't think so. I think that bonds selling off with stocks is a rarity. I think that's an anomaly. I don't think that's what normal happens, right? Because during the 2008 crisis, the bond interest rate crashed, and therefore the bond prices went up a lot. So I think it's an anomaly that bonds are going down with stocks. I think that that relationship is inversely proportional, and it's correlated, but it's abnormal. So I think that bonds will continue to go down in price as the interest rate rises, and the stocks will continue to reverse and go back to new all-time highs, creating this negatively correlated environment between stocks and bonds. So I don't expect that relationship to last much longer. All right, Donnie, thank you for your little donation. Can you do a quick analysis of BTG? I guess. What is that? Bitcoin Gold? I don't think I have a chart of Bitcoin Gold. BTG. I don't. I gotta make a new chart. I even have Digibyte, for God's sakes. Jesus. What is wrong with me? All right, I guess we'll start off with the daily. Make a copy. Bitcoin Gold. Daily. I don't know what exchange trades it, guys. Is it? I think Binance is getting into it. Is it Binance, Bittrex? I mean, what should I use? I guess I'll try Binance. I'm not gonna put an exchange because I don't know which one's good. I'm gonna put that. Actually, I'm not even gonna put it there. I'm just gonna put Bitcoin Gold. BTG, BTC, Bittrex, Binance. I don't know what the hell Binance is. It kind of came out of nowhere. Everyone seems to be in love with it right now. But didn't they like stop withdrawals? I have no idea what's going on there. So I don't know which one is more liquid. I'm gonna. All right, let me see. I'm gonna see which one has more volume. Though I don't have volume. Oh man, I don't have the numbers for volume. I'm gonna go with Bittrex because I know Bittrex. Or maybe I can do it this way. When did this start? It started on 11/20. When did Binance start? Earlier. All right, Binance it is. More history. I'm gonna go with history. History's on my side. Come on, Bitcoin Gold, pump the damn thing. I haven't sold mine yet. Damn you people. The one altcoin I'm actually holding, nobody wants to freaking pump. I would love to sell it at 0.1 Bitcoin again, like I did with all my B trash. That's the clone, right? Yeah, so these things are way too big. I don't need them that big. Well, the good news is that you bottomed on a 9. Again, guys, I'm not making up these numbers, right? You had a 9 here that did not reverse it. So you have to realize that, hey, this 9 is the beginning of a trend, not the end of it. And this 9 clearly reversed the trend. So this is a nice 9 buy. And this could have been a 1 to 4 candle correction then down. So I would say if Bitcoin Gold can get above this area, hopefully tomorrow it'll give you a decent, buying opportunity. But you have resistance here, right? You have the setup trend resistance and the 50-day moving average resistance. It's unfortunate this 9 came a couple of days too late, but it still helped you time the down trade. Would have been nice if it happened here. Yeah, the history isn't really helpful. Yeah, so I'll zoom in at a 4-hour if you are an active trader. A nice piece of volume right there. You see this volume? But it sold off, but now you're going back up. So still good. This was a 9 candle, guys. So this was a nice timing mechanism, actually. This was a 9 candle when the candle started, giving you this run up. Looks good. That's the green line that I drew. Probably adjust it a little bit higher like that. Looks like a double top to me. I mean, a 200 period moving average. Maybe it's 128. I don't remember now. 128. Can get around that. I mean, it's looking bullish. The volume spike is pretty good. These people haven't sold yet. Yeah, it looks good. If you're a shorter term trader, you want to be a little bit cautious here. A little, correction for a few hours, and then maybe you can go back up. So there you go. All right, next. Will you be looking to move to Puerto Rico? I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, I'd have to be in Puerto Rico 180 days a year. I don't want to be in Puerto Rico 180 days a year. Or I can be in Puerto Rico just, or I can be all over the world, but then I have to be, in continental U.S. less than 30 days a year. I mean, I somewhat get along with my family, so I like being home more than 30 days a year. So it's like, I probably will not move to Puerto Rico anytime soon. I'll deal with my tax situation in other ways. What's the difference between a double top and just horizontal resistance? Can't they be the same thing sometimes? No, they're the same thing most of the time. Next. If Lightning really takes off, how will we know Bitcoin usage volume from the mempool stats? Good question. We'll know value on chain, right? Like, we'll know how much Bitcoin, how much we will no longer use the number of transactions. At that point, we would have to use how much value in Bitcoin is being moved around, and that's good. That's a good thing. But yeah. But maybe the Lightning channels would provide it. Like here's an example of the future, right? Like my ultimate future. Like Amazon has a Lightning node, and then Amazon actually reports how many Lightning transactions they've done every week, and then you'll be able to know. All right, next. Okay, I gotta end this. I really don't want these videos to last too long. All right, this might be the last question. Do you think Bitcoin price versus BCH? What's BCH again? Is that Btrash or is it BCC? Yeah, BCH is Btrash. That's right. I forget. Like, I don't think about that garbage. Do you think Bitcoin price versus BCH will be greatly affected this coming week at the gathering of OG Bitcoiners at Anarchapulco, who seem to be getting behind Btrash due to high fees and slowness? Well, that's the thing. Bitcoin is not slow, and Bitcoin is almost free to use right now. So, like, I'm not there to like stand up and hackle them. The moment I hear Bitcoin is slow and expensive, I would just like, please, if you're at this conference, the moment you hear some idiot on stage claim that Bitcoin is too slow or Bitcoin is too expensive, just stand up and yell scammer. Bitcoin is not slow and Bitcoin is not expensive. And you can prove it to them. You can send them $1 with a 5-cent fee, and they'll probably get it in the next block. So if people want to listen to that garbage, fine. Then let them lose all their money. What do you want me to tell you? Tone, would you consider your haircut a double top or sideways resistance? Oh, man. I don't know. I have to think about that. Good question, though. Yeah, I mentioned the Microsoft thing yesterday, actually. Do I have any additional comments on the Microsoft thing? Not really. I mean, look, any programmer worth a damn would understand that you can't scale on-chain. What do you want me to say? If you're a developer and you think on-chain scaling is a solution, you're probably just an idiot. What do you want me to tell you? All right, let's wrap this up. Final note, I'm at the University of Maryland tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. I'm pretty sure it's kind of open to the public. I hope the room can kind of fit a lot of people. Uh, Hopefully, like the students will show up from the University of Maryland. I'm gonna add this website into the description of my video. And my trading seminar in DC will take place we still have seats this Saturday. We still have about 8 or 9 seats left. My goal is to get 20 people. It'll be a tough challenge to get six like seven or so more people. I have to update these numbers. Like seven more people by Saturday. New York is doing really well. I already raised my goal to 30 people. I already have over 20 signed up. So please check those out. Please attend. And on a final note, my website is all messed up. I gotta fix it. Um, on a final note, if you'd like to support my work, please check out the affiliate referral page. A lot of these are discount codes. You save money on these products, and some of them are just referrals, right? So the company would, kick something back to me for driving some traffic there. There are links here that don't seem to have lit up. Again, I gotta fix my website, but you can always click on the picture itself. So that's one way to support my work. I mean, you don't have to support my work. That's fine too. But sure, like it doesn't cost you anything extra to use another person's affiliate. TourGuard, for example, you'll save 50%. So yeah, that's me showing the affiliate codes. All right, guys. Thank you very much for sticking around. I'm closing out with 1,300 viewers. Went over an hour today, but got a lot of sleep on the flight coming to DC. So still kind of awake. And I'll try to bring this to you early tomorrow morning. I'll try to get back to the morning schedule. Seems to be a little bit better. I kind of have plans. Well, I'm in Maryland tomorrow night, and then I got plans Thursday night and probably Friday, and then my seminar Saturday. So I'll be bringing these things to you in the morning. I got to reach out to Jimmy Song, see if he's back. Maybe we can get that up and running again. All right, guys, I'll talk to you all on the next one.